Hey, what's up? For this couple of videos, I want to talk about the Predator movies. Ah, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and there's a new Predator movie coming out this year. I already did like a first thoughts on the first two trailers, and for these two videos, I want to talk about all the movies from one, the Predator, Predator Two, Predators, and even talk about AVP movies, or maybe even some other stuff adjacent to the movies. So, with that being said, this is my personal retrospective on the Predator movies. Here we go. Let's take you all the way back to the 90s, early 90s. 1990, 1991 is when I first saw this movie. Kind of. Here's what I mean. When I was a kid, they used to play the first Predator movie on Fox because 20th Century Fox made this movie, so it was always on Fox TV. It started at 8 o'clock at night, and my bedtime, because I was a little kid then, was 9 o'clock. So it would be the intro. They would take the base and take the hostage, I guess you would call her. To have that cool scene where Arnold and Carl Weathers and they're showing off their muscles, which still looks pretty cool. And then they would have two kills go off, and they would try and catch it, but then it escapes, and then commercial. I'd have to go to bed. Like right at that point, right when the commercial hit, my pop would always tell me, "Oh, time to go to bed. You have to go to bed." And this happened off and on for about a year at least. Like a year of this, like it seemed about every month or every 2 months, the movie would come out on Fox TV, and then it would be watch it first hour, really cool, and then 9 o'clock came around, I'd have to go to bed. And then what was interesting, and this is kind of more of a serious thing, is one night I remember part of the reason I also remember that sort of thing because I remember the first time I ever stayed up past my bedtime it was 92, and on Fox they're going to be showing Predator again, and that was the night of the riots in LA. I remember they were saying we'll interrupt this program to show you a very special report, and they were showing the riots in LA. It was just some fires, some looting. There was a lot of stuff going on, and I remember my pop told us that we can stay up and we need to watch this because this is history, and they're going to talk about it when we're older. It's going to be part of history classes. And sure enough, when I was in high school, they actually were part of the history, like recent history. They're talking about the riots in Los Angeles. So it was like my pop was right about that. And it's kind of weird to think about, the movie was supposed to be shown that night, and then boom, the riot. And instead of seeing simulated violence and action, there was something a lot more real. So, all right, let's get away from the downer of that. But I remember, I think it was about 6 months after that, maybe a year. I was the same thing every time. I was like, watch it, 9 o'clock, boom, nope, gotta go to bed. I remember I asked my pop, can I rent the movie? May I rent the movie and watch it? Because I wanted to watch it so badly because I kept on getting teased with it, and I was like, I gotta watch the rest of the movie. I gotta know how it ends. I gotta see what happens. And so, I think it was about like 10 or so. I finally convinced my pop. Okay, he said, okay, you can rent the movie. So I went to back when brick and mortar rental places still existed, and when it was time for VHS tapes. Jeez, we're old. I remember I rented the movie from Video 2000. That was the local place back where I grew up, and I popped the movie into the VCR. Finally got to watch it, and it was awesome. It was awesome. The one, see, that's why I bought the movie on DVD later and on Blu-ray, because this movie is awesome. It's so cool. I could talk about the scene for scene, all the cool stuff, and I couldn't do it justice because the movie is just so good. And yes, it is my favorite Schwarzenegger movie, and it's one of my favorite movies ever. Just the way the Predator moved and the way the quick shots that we would see of the Predator before it would flash in and flash out, and we would, oh, what was that? What was that? Oh my God, look at that! And then you couldn't see it, and then the eyes would flash. And the whole presentation of the Predator was amazing, and the final reveal of what it really looked like under its mask, under that mask right there, it's amazing to me. It's a great piece of cinema because it's a slow reveal, the way the tubes come out, and then the little pressurization that comes off, and then as it lifts, you just see the chin, and then you see from the Predator's perspective, all the ambient heat around, boom, just shows off. It shows that the mask basically filtering the heat around because it would get the atmospheric heat and make it so you only saw body heat. And I thought that was a perfect thing to show. And then boom, drop face. And I'm shocked, like just like Arnold Schwarzenegger's in the movie, and that line, which I won't repeat here because I couldn't do it justice. There's such a shock and fear in his face when he says it. It's amazing, and it's such a great movie. Oh, I like this movie so much. Oh, it's so great. And I remember around this time as well, they were actually showing Predator 2 on TV, on cable, actually on HBO, and I actually got to watch it right around after I watched the first movie. I watched the second one too, and I have to say this movie gets a bad rap, and a lot of people don't really talk about the second Predator movie as good as it is because I don't know, it's not as good as this first one, definitely, but it's definitely a good movie. Danny Glover, he plays a good cop character, and they really play it as, what the hell's going on here? This is new. We're stuck in a gang war, but something's happening now that is a lot different than what we're used to. It's such a real cat and mouse movie as well, just like the ending of the first Predator movie. There's a lot more in the second one, and I like that. It's a really good thing. So, okay, you're the badass around here, huh? And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna hunt everybody around you, and then I'm gonna come for you. And I thought that was really cool. And Kevin Peter Hall, who plays the Predator in 1 and 2, does a great job. The way he moves and the way that he acts with the suit is so well done. And you really buy him as this hunter, this being that's just here for sport. And it really does a good job of explaining why the Predators come to our world to hunt and what they're really here for. And in the Predator 1 and 2 does a good job of showing why was this person killed but not that person, and it shows these Predators have a real honor to them, and I enjoyed that. The ending of Predator 2 is really good to me because again it's that honor mentality that okay, to the victor goes the spoils. We're not going to interfere in this fight, and you win. Here's your reward. It was really good, and man, this movie is underappreciated, I think. Good, really good movie. And also the movie actually has a comic book adaptation. Like I said, I was going to do stuff adjacent to the movie, and I think the ending to the comic is really good because it does a good job of going around the censorship issue because. All right, earmuff the kids and then I'll wave you back in. Because at the end, when Danny Glover's character hits the Predator with this blade, he said, "That's right, asshole. Shit happens." Boom, and he pulls the blade out and just bleeds him out. all right, you can on with the kids. But in the comic book, because they did a good job of showing his friendship with the fellow cop Danny, and they show how Danny's death in the movie affected him. When he hits him with the blade, he goes, "This is for you, Danny boy!" Boom, and it was a really good way to change the line, but also keep the emotional element, or maybe even raise it a little bit, because now you're having a more of a personal moment in that scene, which I liked. Good comic book adaptation, I gotta say. And so, yeah, there was so much good in these two movies, and for so long we didn't get any other Predator movies, anything with Predator in the movies, until AVP. Next part two. I'm gonna talk about AVP, the movies, stuff adjacent to in AVP, and also the last Predator movie that we got before this new one comes out. So, until then, I'll talk to you later.